Hey everyone, I got a very exciting show for you today. I have a show that is going to be enlightening, inspiring, and we're going to talk to somebody that all of us need to be following. And this show is going to mean something to me because, again, I need help here. And we'll get into that section in kind of the middle of our discussion. But let's welcome Thach Nguyen to the show. How you doing, Thach?
Doing good, my brother. Thank you for having me today. Let's get these folks fired up today.
This is going to be fun, man. We first met literally last Thursday when we were both co-presenting on a Survive and Thrive event. And I got just a little taste of who Thach is in your story. But why don't you introduce yourself, Thach, to my audience, who you are, how this all start right from the beginning. Let's get everybody to know where you came from.
Yeah, so I was born in Vietnam in 1970, and my dad worked for the U.S. military back in Vietnam. And in 1975, April 30th, 1975, the U.S. decided they're gonna pull out of Vietnam because the communists is taking over South Vietnam. So they decided they're gonna pull out of there. And my dad's boss said, "You should leave with us, otherwise you're gonna be captured, and they're gonna probably kill you." And so, because you're Vietnamese, work for the U.S. government. So my dad said, okay. So my dad called home, told my mom, "Hey, we're gonna come home. I'm gonna get you guys, pack up the kids and clothes, whatever money we get. I'm gonna come get you guys. We're gonna leave out of the country. We're gonna go with the U.S. flight to the U.S." And of course, my mom, she's 34, pregnant. My sister, I got 4 brothers, and she was like, okay. So we boxed everything in one suitcase. We had $100, and my dad came home, picked us up, and of course we wanted to go by and try to get some of my uncle and aunts to come with us so they can leave the country with us. Yeah. But nobody was home. My mom's, which is my grandma, both my grandmas, there was none of them was around. Like we had to get to the airport because where we live and get to the airport is like a 6-hour drive. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And so we had to hurry up and get over to our aunt and those guys' house, but nobody was home. And so we had to leave because the plane was going to leave the next morning. And we went by everybody's house and couldn't find another. We went to my uncle's house. And my uncle, which is my dad's younger brother, him and his family was home. And my dad said, "Hey, man, you should leave, right, with us." Yeah. My aunt says, "Nah, we got this business going on. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I'm going to stay," right? And my uncle said, well, they both, the wife, my aunt's like, my uncle was like, "You know what? Why don't you go? Why don't you take the 2 boys and the little one, they stay with me and the daughter. So you and the 2 boys, you got to go and leave us back here. You know what I mean? When you got to get over there, settle in, and, then call us, kind of thing, right?" So my uncle and my 2 cousins went with us. Wow. So we drive to the airport. On the way to the airport, we blew 2 tires. And of course, the Jeep only got 1 spare, right?
Yeah.
So by the time we got all that taken care of, we get to the airport, we missed the last plane.
Oh no.
So my dad, tried to call his boss many times, finally got a hold of him. The boss says, "Stay in Saigon, and tomorrow morning, we're going to get 1 more plane coming in, right? Meet us at this gas station, and we'll get you guys in." But at this time, the town doesn't even know that it's being evacuated yet.
Right.
Okay. And so my dad, we got a hotel, and he slept in the Jeep. He didn't want nobody to steal it. And the next morning, we drove to the gas station. We got into this U-Haul truck, basically all of us with a whole bunch of other people. Doors shut, pitch black in there. I was about five and a half years old. Wow. I know some of it, bits and bits. My mom and dad, they explained the whole story to us. We drive to the airport. We open the door, and it was like inside the gate now, right?
Right.
And there's chaos everywhere, right? So we finally get on the last plane. We made it. We flew out, and we landed in. And that's why San Diego has such a big population of Vietnamese, because that's where a lot of them landed down there.
Got it.
San Diego, Orange County, right?
Yep.
So we stay at Camp Pennington. They use that as the homeless shelter. So we're there for a few months. And then Governor Evan decided to bring a whole bunch of Vietnamese refugees up to Washington to help spread the migration of the immigrants.
Yeah.
So we left up to Washington. Otherwise, I'd be living in California all these years. But we left to Washington, and we stayed at another place called Camp Murray, it's like Camp Pennington, and they use that the shelter. We stayed there for a few months, and then there was a gentleman named Charles Zettler who was a volunteer during this time. He decided to sponsor my whole family and my uncle and my 2 cousins to go live with him and his mom.
Wow.
Right? We lived there for about 2 years, right? And his mom and Charo, right? His mom was like in her 50s, 60s. She used to drive my dad to work 45 minutes into town, go back home, and then go drive back into town 45 minutes at night, 5 o'clock to pick him up from work, and then bring him back home.
Wow.
Did that every month, Mike, for like 7 months, right? And that's why today, when I look back, there's a lot of things why today I have such a big mission to make a difference in the world, right?
Yeah.
So my dad finally later on got a job up towards Seattle. He became a social worker, and we moved up there, lived in this 2-bedroom, 1-bath house for all 8 of us. And he was a social worker, and he just, began his work there. And when we grew up, we, food bank, welfare, all that kind of stuff. And I grew up like a normal kid, and I went to school, high school in the area. That area 98118 is the most diverse zip code in the whole world, right? Wow. Yep. It's like Santa Ana, basically, in that area. You know what I mean? Down there, right?
Yep.
And then I graduated from high school in 88. I had good grade from first freshman, January, and junior, right? Sophomore, junior. And then I hung out with some wrong people in the last of the year. And then I only graduated with like a 2.8 GPA. And here's what I want to say to people. The teacher, a lot of people say, God, without GPA, you're not going to go much. And I realized today, it's great to have IQ and smartness, but entrepreneur thinking and dreaming big and ambition and hustle, right? And high wanting will override any IQ, okay?
Oh, for sure.
Right? And so I graduated from high school, wasn't sure what I want to do. I followed my 2 older brother footstep to go fix aviation airplane. And I got my degree in 91, and I hated it, right? And here's another tip. Do the thing that bring you inspiration, not doing the thing from obligation. Okay?
I love that, yeah.
Of course, in the Asian culture, right? If you ever noticed, in the Asian culture, the mom and dad was a highly influence to the kid. They want them to be doctors, lawyers, you know what I mean? Pilots. Because these are the things that's very prestige in their eye. Sure. So when they hear you sell real estate, or they hear you want to go play basketball, right? They'd be like, no, right? And so, when I graduated from college in 91, I didn't really want to do that. And I didn't want to leave to Denver to go work for an airline company to fix airplane. Right. So I stayed back, and I was working 3 jobs. I was working at full-time at Safeway as a dairy manager. Yeah. I worked at a body shop, and I worked at a Chinese restaurant parking cars on the weekend. Wow. Right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday night from 5 to 10. And I did that 7 days a week. And when I was at the restaurant, the daughter was there working, and she was studying for a real estate license. And I asked her, what are you doing? She told me she's studying her license. And then we started talking. She said, you know what? You should go get your real estate license with me, because I think you'd be good at it, because I think you got a good mouthpiece. And I was like, oh, yeah? And we talked, and she said, commission 7%. 7%, $100,000, how I get $7,000? I'm in, right? So I went and got my license with her, and we both passed in 91. I was 21 years old, youngest agent ever hired in Washington State. I didn't have no clue what I was doing, right? I lived at my mom and dad's house, right? I had no money. And luckily, I found a really good office, right? It's a big brand called Millionaire in Seattle. And the broker, Brian Fairchild, says, I remember he said to me, how are you going to benefit our office at 21 years old? Because the youngest agent is like 36 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I said to him, listen, I'm ambitious, I'm hungry, right? I'm a quick learner. I'm a great salesperson, right? And my dad is a social worker. He helped a lot of Vietnamese family. And I'm going to be able to tap into that. I'm going to work with a lot of the Vietnamese people. And then I said to him, I hear that I don't pay you, but you don't pay me, but I pay you for every check. So what do you got to lose? Yeah. And the guy hired me right there. And that's when my journey of real estate began in 1991.
That is awesome. And again, just kind of summarize for me, because again, this episode, we're going to start at the bottom and we're going to see where this goes, and it's going to be pretty amazing. But again, humble beginnings. You know, you start in a foreign country, you come here when you're 5.5, probably scared. Yeah, didn't speak English, right? You know, homeless shelter, food stamps, you know, all of those things. 8 people in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath residence. But still, you graduate high school, you graduate college, right? You do have that, you know, that Asian culture thing. My wife is from Taiwan, so believe me, I get it. We have a daughter, so I get it. But, you know, now you're 21, you have a degree, and you're like, nope, don't want to go that direction. Don't want to go to Denver to fix planes. Not my thing. This young lady where you're at the restaurant goes, you know, I think you'd be good at this. Come on over. You do it. You jump in with both feet. Both feet. How quickly do you go from having 3 jobs, Safeway, dairy, body shop, restaurants, to full-time real estate agent?
A year later. I'm gonna tell you
a year. Wow.
I was selling real estate part-time and kept the other 3 jobs.
Damn.
And what happened was, the first 3 years of my business, okay, I was only doing 3-4 deals a year.
Yeah.
Okay. And I decided to slowly cut off, you know what I mean, the part-time job, the parking cars and what's called. So as I was looking at houses, showing houses, these 2 part-time jobs were taking up my time. So I slowly transitioned, get rid of the part-time job, but I kept Safeway. And then I spent more time doing real estate, and I kept Safeway. And so after about probably 2 to 3 years, right? After my 3rd year, I was only selling 3 homes, 4 homes, but I was gonna quit. And then I met a guy named Mike Ferry. He's a real estate trainer in Newport Beach.
Yeah.
And I went to a seminar, and he said the 3 ways you can actually do this business correctly and make money, right? But one way is gonna actually make you the most money. One is you can sit around, wait for someone to call you, right? But it's not gonna be very duplicatable, and you can't hard to duplicate that result. You can spend a lot of money on advertising, but it's hard to duplicate that and also predict that. Third, you can go out there and actively go out there, cold call, door knock people and ask them if they want to sell their home. And based on law of average, if you talk to enough people, you're gonna get results. And then you gotta memorize these scripts. And I'm like, okay, well, man, that don't sound too hard to me. And so he said, all right, well, I charge $300 a month, right? One of my coaches will train you. Half an hour every other week. Here's the script. And then you go door knock, right? I quit Safeway, right? I live in my mom and dad's house still, right? And so I memorized these scripts. There was like 10 scripts and like 10 different objections. I memorized all of them in 30 days. And then I decided, because I met this guy named Floyd Candelaria, who was door knocking 100 doors a day, and he was selling 300-400 homes a year. And I said, if he can do it, I can do it. He's an immigrant, and I went and shadowed him, right? And so after I passed my test, I made a commitment. I'm going to go door knock 100 doors a day, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. I told my wife to drop me off, take the car home, because I won't cheat. Drop me off. I'll call you when I get done. So I door knocked 100 doors a day. It took me 5 hours. And I did it Monday through Friday, which is 5 days a week. I did 100 doors every day, 5 hours a day, 5 days a week for 10 years straight.
Oh man, I just love this. Again, let me take, you know, my takeaways from this little portion. Again, you're not afraid to go ask for help or coaching or advice, right? Mike Ferry.
I'm willing to pay for it.
Yeah, I'm willing to pay for it. Yeah, absolutely willing to pay for it. Again, $300 a day in 1994 was probably like shit, 3,000 a day.
Easy,
right?
Yeah.
So let's put that in. Let's put that in. And again, you're living at home, right? So I mean, money's money, right? So maybe more like 30 grand, but let's call it 3 grand. Mike Ferry's a legend. I know his son, Tom Ferry. I've had him on this episode. So the Ferry clan is very well respected down in Newport Beach area. And again, you are willing to model other success and frankly not question it.
Yes.
A lot of people here door knocking 100 doors a day, and their stupid mind gets in the way. Well, I don't know about that, or what areas, or they just question themselves to death and never go anywhere. You're like, shoot, that guy's selling 3 homes. He's selling 300 homes a year. He's door knocking 100 doors a day. I see a connection.
Yes.
I'm not going to question it. I'm going to go do that. And then lastly, man, you freaking don't stop. You did that for 10 freaking years.
Still do it today.
Oh man, people need to hear this stuff. You're already wildly successful and you're still putting in the grind, right? You're still working. So next part of this interview I want to take you to is you start reaping some rewards, some amazing rewards at a very young age. And I think I heard you talk about you had your first 7-figure year at what age?
27 years old.
27 years old, living in Washington, made 7 figures a year.
And still living at home.
You know how absurd that sounds?
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous. And I tell you, I was getting people talking shit about me all the time. So I want to clarify so people understand. I made $1 million by selling real estate, not investing yet.
No, of course, selling.
I bought my first investment property before I hit $1 million. Because at that time, you can buy a house, $100,000, $110,000. You can live in it. I mean, you can put 5% down, which is only $5,000. You can rent it out, cash flow, because back then home was cheap, right?
Yeah.
So when I did the TikTok video, I said 26, 27, I had my first rental. And at 27, I became a millionaire. Someone was like, how you become a millionaire overnight owning one house? But they didn't understand because I didn't explain it.
Yeah, you had the commission. Yeah, you were a W-2.
That's right.
Or a 1099 or whatever it is. You were an income millionaire.
That's right. That's right. And then, of course, I continue to keep making money and bought rental. But here's the thing people don't realize, because in my early year, we realized early on, owning a rental is going to get me out of the rat race and create a passive income so I can actually have the wealth lifestyle today.
Dude, come on. You were making $1 million a year at 27 and you already had the vision that wealth was in buy and hold real estate.
Let me tell you the reason why I was so blessed.
Wow.
When I worked at Millionaire, right, from 91 to about 96, 97, 91 to 95, 96, a gentleman named Saul, my mentor, who owned John Scott, he said, look, you're a young guy, right? You got a lot of followers. You know what I mean? I was working at an office that was 35 people. 10 of them was following me. And Saul said, come into my office, right? And bring your agent friends over here, right? And you keep doing your thing, but I teach you how to make money work for you when you're asleep.
Nice.
And I was like, really? So I left, and all of a sudden, out of a 35 office, 11 of them went with me. They were just my friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I went to Saul's office, and then Saul sat me and Cameron down and says, selling real estate, making $1 million will make you rich, but will not help you be retired and have wealth because you're trading your time for money.
Yeah.
You want to take the money you make and buy rental, so later on you trade your money back for time so you can do what you love to do, right? And I say, oh, okay. My wife was way more smarter. And so Saul met with me and my wife every month, dude, for like years. Still today, we still meet with Saul, okay? And so that's what happened. So at 25, 26, I started making money. We decided to stay at my mom and dad's house, and we bought 15 rental properties before we left the house.
I just want to say that is amazing and also absurd at the same time, right? I mean, let's just be real, right? Making 7 figures a year, multiple years in a row. I guess the one, and then buying 15 rentals. I just have to ask, did your parents know, or was it kind of hidden that you were making that kind of money?
Dad, you know, they're super supportive. Listen, what's so crazy is that, see, the Asian culture, when we're, 25, 26, 27, we still like they're babies, you know what I mean?
Of course.
And of course, in Asian culture, like, you work and you go home and they have food ready for you. They do the laundry for you. Man, you got a good life at home, you know what I mean?
No joke.
And so for me and Cammie, it was like no big deal, you know what I mean? And we used to work, me and Cammie used to work, in a month, right? On the last week of the month, right? We would take that last week off and we'd go on vacation. So we worked like 3.5 weeks and then take off the last week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back and go to work again. We did that for many years.
Nice.
But I bought a whole bunch of rental property. I loved cars back then. So I bought my first, Acura. And then later on, I bought my first Mercedes, and I still lived at home with my mom and dad. And people just talk shit about me like, oh, man, that guy must not make no money. He spent all his money. Why he living in his mom and dad's house? But they don't realize we were sacrificing for what we have today.
That is amazing. It's a totally different scale. I don't mean to put my story up there with yours at all, but the reason I was able to retire after 15 years was because of sacrifice, right? We lived below our means. We didn't trade up. You know, sure, you could look at us now. We got lots of nice toys,
Yep.
but we didn't do jack shit for 15 years.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And that's one of the things I think today, the young people, right? Things come so fast for them, right? Everything moves so fast, social media, everything, but they need to put the time in. Yeah. And they also need to realize that things take time. Owning a rental property, buying them and getting it paid off take time. Unless you're killing it on YouTube, killing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On a earned income revenue somewhere, that just bringing in millions of dollars at a time, bucket full of it, like a YouTube guy who just killing it, right?
Yeah.
That's a different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it takes time to buy a property, get it paid off to really see the passive income.
No joke. Yeah, no joke. So again, what's impressive about your story is you're doing all this in your 20s. And I know because we were on a video together last week, you just turned 50.
Yes.
Right.
Just turned 50 on May 18, just recently.
Yeah, just recently. I love how your friends just did that car parade and stuff. People just love you, man. That was fun to watch. That was fun to watch. So why don't we just, you know, tell people about, you know, where are you today, right? Because again, man, we could talk for hours about how you went from 27 to 50, but let's paint the vision of where you are today. Because again, I want most of this show to be about the next segment, but let's remind everybody where you are today. Yeah.
So today, you guys, I'm very blessed that we work hard. We save a lot of money. We've been buying rentals since my first rental property was 1997. I bought a single family home. I still own it today. It's free and clear. And on my journey of owning houses, I bought houses and then I fix them up. I keep them. And then I buy raw land and I built townhouses and I keep a lot of those for rentals. And I built apartment building. We built an apartment building called micro apartments. So we geared toward affordable housing and we geared toward workforce housing. And so we keep a lot of those, and pretty much 90% of my investment property is owned by just me and my wife only. We don't have a lot of investors unless we actually do big apartment building like some of the stuff we do today. But we have a couple hundred units today. We have over $100,000 a month in positive cash flow after everybody's paid out.
That's amazing.
And I still work. I still sell real estate today. I still out there door knocking, go out there and find deals. I still buy houses to fix them up and keep them. I still build townhouses and I still build apartment building. And I do because it's a passion. It's the love of the game. And it's even better when you do things what you love and you're not attached to the outcome because things actually happen even faster and better.
Yeah. Well, this is that one statement that you slid in there that I'm not sure everybody caught was the one that I heard last week. And I'm like, dude, I got to get this guy on the phone because you're netting. I mean, net $100,000 a month. Right. Which again, simple math says 1.2 million a year, right? Simple math.
Right. That's it.
How do you stay motivated? Because most people, and I'm like 99.99999% of people can't spend that much money.
Yes.
I mean, just fundamentally can't.
Everybody, even myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Unless you want to just go buy stupid stuff just to spend it.
Yeah. I mean, you can always do stupid shit. But I mean, what keeps you hustling on the grind? You're 50 now. You're a 7-figure, income with passive income. Most of that I know is hidden in depreciation. Probably not all of it, but most of it.
Yep.
Why? I mean, why aren't you living on an island somewhere?
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you now. I'm gonna full circle this whole thing. Okay. So when my dad and us came over here, Charles Zettler helped my family.
Okay.
My dad became a social worker.
Mm-hmm.
He helped a lot of family get on welfare and housing. When my dad passed away in 1997, at the funeral, there were close to 1,000 people that showed up to the funeral. The caravan to go to the cemetery was miles and miles and miles long. Okay. It was crazy sitting at church, hearing people doing the eulogy on him.
Mm.
When he passed away, so in our culture, and you probably know this, in Asian culture, they have a lot of what they call spiritual people.
Mm-hmm.
And my aunt is a channeler, and she can bring in spiritual people through her.
Okay.
And I remember sitting, and I asked my aunt, which I was really talking to the channeler, why did they take my dad so early, only in his 60s?
Mm.
And the channeler said, you have big things that you can do. Your dad left early. It was his time to go. but he's handing you the baton, so you can go continue his work, but you can make a bigger impact in the world.
Wow.
That was it.
Well, that'll stay with you forever. And I can see you're emotional. I'm emotional for you. So forgive me. I don't remember when that happened. Was that 5-10 years ago? When was that?
2007.
So let's call it 15 years ago, 13 years ago. So again, you would have been 37-ish, 38. Wow. Okay. I get it.
So after my dad passed away, I decided that I'm just going to take the baton. No questions.
Yep.
And I said, my vision came out of that.
Yeah.
And my vision was to inspire and empower billions of people to reach for their goals and dream and see that anything is possible by me sharing my own story, walking my own journey.
Yeah.
And hopefully I inspire people to see that if Thach can do it, they can do it.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, why do I do it? I do it for the main reason is to inspire and empower billions of people.
Wow.
Why do I not stop within the island? Because I can't inspire nobody sitting on the island. So do I need the money? No. But I love going out there and keep raising the bar. Do what it takes mentally, physically, emotionally to see at 50, can I still do this?
Yeah, I get it.
And I go and chase after my goals because it's a fun thing to chase. Remember, we all know that it's the it's not the destination, the journey.
Yes.
Right. My good friend Matthew Ferry always say, right, that who you become in the journey is more important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So for me, I set a high goal and I go after it because I want to see how I change, who I become in the journey, getting there.
Yeah.
But as I'm going there, I'm living the bigger vision is to inspire billions of people. If that can do at 50, still out there door knock and cold call and still go after the next level. But I do it because I want to keep growing. Tony Robbins says, live a life of Canai, C-A-N-O, constant and never ending improvement. Wow. I mean, C-A-N-I.
N-I, yeah.
Yeah, constant and never ending improvement.
There you go.
Warren Buffett is another kind of person that lives in the life of Canai. I mean, the guy's 80. I'm a shareholder of, Berkshire Hathaway, and I got to many of his event. And he's a guy who's in his 80s, high 80s.
Yeah.
And he reading and expanding. Bill Gates said the other day on one of the interview, if you don't continue to keep working your brain, it's gonna actually go to sleep.
Yep. Awesome.
So for me, I don't want to go to sleep, right? So I just set goals and I chase after those goals so I can continue to live a life of Canai. And I don't really need the destination, but I live a life of Canai so I can keep growing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But during my journey going there, I'm inspiring more people. And that's dreaming big.
Yeah. I'm so glad we're talking about this stuff. So again, I told you when we were off camera that's where I wanted to spend most of this conversation is you really have brought the dream big or dream bigger mindset like I haven't seen. Your Instagram presence, the courses or mentoring that you do. Let's just talk about dreaming bigger because that is, first off, you got to realize, right? That's uncomfortable for some people.
Of course.
Right? Kind of uncomfortable
Absolutely.
for some. Other people probably, frankly, enjoy dreaming big but have no action. Right?
That's
It's like, let's think rainbows and unicorns and never do anything, just sit on the couch all day and play video games. And then there's the people that kind of want it, get it, and operate. I mean, how do you take this huge message, this huge following, your great track record, which again starts in a foreign country? You come here on a cargo plane at 5.5 years old, homeless shelter. I mean, all these things, and now you're leading, hundreds of thousands, if not billions of people. So, I mean, how do you measure that? I mean, do you just do it, or how do you tackle that big problem?
Yeah, it's a mental blockage thing, first of all, so everybody understand. It starts with a mental blockage. Okay. Because, our society says to us, right, you don't need that Ferrari. A Toyota, I did a video the other day that someone said a Chevy it works the same as a Rolls Royce, right?
Yeah.
And you don't need a $1 million house. You can get a comfortable house half of the price.
Yeah.
That's society. And the problem is that society have already trained us to actually live, you know, not be useful. Like you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You don't need to have that. That's a waste of money. I mean, there's so many things that people say. And what happened is that we start to buy into it and we make it basically like, I don't want to buy that Ferrari. I don't want people to think I'm, you know, bragging or doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And so when I say live a life of Kanai, if let's just say, for example, Mike, you wanted a Ferrari because that's something you always wanted, right? But you don't buy it because unconsciously you might try to rationalize and go, oh, it's not the best investment, this and that, right?
Yeah.
And we picked up a lot of those, you know, society training.
Sure.
And so what I had to do coming up on this journey is, of course, if life is perfect, right? If you want it and you're a genie, right?
Yeah.
And like, I want a Ferrari, bam, you can have it. But it's not that easy because when we start dreaming, that's why I say dream big. The first step of manifesting is intention.
Yeah.
I call it dreaming. So I used to do a class called the 8 Step of Manifesting. And the first step of manifesting is to intend and declare. Okay. And let me give you a real good example to put this in perspective. I was doing single family development, and my good friend Matthew Ferry, right, Tom's brother, and we mastermind together still today for like 10 years.
Wow.
And Matthew said to me, Thach, he whipped out this flyer and he says, he got it from Alaska Airlines. He says, how come you don't build these big giant apartment buildings? And I said to Matthew, don't you understand? But Matthew, I don't have an education behind building a big, I know how to build single family townhouses. I don't know how to do that. Plus, you don't know, in Seattle, right, in 2006, 2007, man, the crane, they don't have any more cranes. You know, cranes are already taken up. This is what all the developers are saying. How am I going to do it? How am I going to raise the money? I don't have those. How? And Matthew Ferry said, Thach, I didn't ask you how you're going to do it. I asked you how come you don't declare you're going to do it. No. And said the reason why I didn't declare is because subliminally I've been trained, right, that I can't do that. I don't know how to raise capital, right? I don't know where to find the crane. And Matthew always say to me, look, the how will show up. That's why today I have a Vietnamese proverb you see all over my website. It's called Phúc How. Phúc How is a Vietnamese proverb that says, if you ever want to dream big, forget the how, AKA Phúc How. Yeah. Right? Because the moment you declare what you want, the how or providence, universe, move towards. And it show you all the different ways how it can happen. So what happened is that I learned that as I was coming up, right? And I want certain things like, you know, I want a Ferrari, right? Or I want this, I want more rental property, right? So many things will show up. You can't do that. How? And all these little mental things. So I had to work through the mental thing because when I bought my first Rolls Royce, it was a hard thing to buy, even though I could afford it. But it was just so many judgment in my own mind, thinking what people would think of me buying this Rolls Royce.
I love how you said your first Rolls Royce. Yeah, right? So how many have we bought so far?
I bought 2 of them already.
Very nice.
Yeah. And so that's the reason why people have a hard time dreaming big is because it's a mental blockage.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So I'm going to ask you for some help, put you on the spot. So I'm comfortable, right? I already hit whatever goal I had for 15 years. I'm having fun every day. Yep. I don't need money. Yep. I don't have a big dream, and that's a problem, right? There's not that.
I think everybody have a big dream.
Okay.
I think we squish it and justify why we don't need it.
Ah, all right. So do you have a challenge? And if you don't have an answer today, this is where I'm going to ask you for help. I struggle with dreaming big. Yes. I mean, I had it my whole life to get over some line, right? I grew up not as poor as you, I'm not going to declare that, but uncomfortably poor, right? Where food wasn't always there.
Yep.
now I'm already the successful one. I'm retired at 45. I don't have a day job anymore.
Yeah.
I give back, via this YouTube and the book and all of that. So I'm having fun. I'm staying engaged, but I don't have that thing I'm chasing.
Yes.
So I don't know if there's, thoughts you can put out there, an activity I should do. And if you don't have it now, totally cool. But that's where I need help. I'm
I would
struggling.
say to you, Michael, like all of us has 8 equity in life. Similar 8 equity all share. Physical,
yeah,
mental, spiritual, career, finances, social/fun, contribution, right? And so I would challenge you, if life is perfect, what would you want to do in one of those equity, each one of those equity, 1 or 2 things to take it to the next level for you?
Yeah.
Just, what I mean? Now I got goal for the next 10 years. I'm 50 now. How old are you, Mike?
I'm 48.
Yeah. So I'm 50 and I got to go by the time I'm 60, right?
Yeah. I remember
what I want to do by the time I get to 60. So one of my goals is to pay off all my property by the time I get to 60. Okay.
Okay.
One of my goals, right, which I've been doing, and I want to build more houses for less fortunate family.
Yep.
Okay. One of my goals I did back then when I was making money. I had one of my goals was to take all my brother and sister, right, before you had kids, on a yearly annual trip, all paid by me. Go to Grand Wailea, right? It'd be like 10, 15 of us, like 60 grand for this trip.
Wow.
And then I had a goal when I was coming up that when my dad passed away, I want to go to Vietnam and we want to remodel a lot of the churches in Vietnam and then plaque it with his name.
Nice.
So sometimes some of those things take money to do.
Yeah.
And it's money outside of the thing that I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, for example, meaning there's a certain amount of money that I'd use that to go do those kind of things.
Yep.
And then there's money I invest to, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, and then there's something also that you want for yourself. If there's something you really, really want for yourself, I really would ask you to really, to be conscious of, let's just say hypothetically, all right, let's say you really wanted a Ferrari, but your unconscious mind squish you and go, you don't need that. You're 48 years old. Why you need that? You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, for me, like, I make a bet with my wife, Tammy. I said, honey, I want this. When I bought my second Rolls Royce recently, 2 years ago, right? I said, actually my Ferrari, when I bought my 488 Ferrari, I said to my wife, let me buy this Ferrari, this new one. She said, listen, how much that car cost? She said, $350,000. You go out there and find me either A, $350,000 cash, or B, enough passive income to pay for your car payment, and you can have it. So it took me about 7-8 months to go get that money. And then we bought some rental property with that money. And then say, okay, now you done it, you can have the car. So even though I already had money to pay for it, but it was a challenge for me to do that. So my challenge for you is to look through the equity of life, right? And see, right, what's something you really, really want to do or have, do or have.
Yep.
Right? And that, if life is perfect, no judgment, that you really want it, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff you don't even need no money to do it, right? And some of them you might need to set a goal for yourself and go, honey, I'm going to go buy this second house over here. Like, one of my goals is to actually have a house down in Newport Beach. Well, I have a timeshare down there right now, Newport Beach.
Yeah.
But I want to get a home down there in Newport Beach here probably the next 5 years or sooner.
There you go. Cool.
Okay. And it takes, it takes little things to move around. So I'm gonna have to move things around to create more passive income to do that.
Absolutely.
You see? So those are some of the things. I would love to hear what you come up with, Mike. Yeah. I love to help you with that.
I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I took that down. I'm going to go back and watch this like everybody else should, watch it a couple of times and really hone in on that. So I appreciate it. Thach, how can people follow you? Because you're doing amazing things. More and more people just need to, be a part of this universe. Because everything you put out is positive. It's dreams, it's hopes, again, listen to your story. You're doing what you say, which is so different than a lot of these YouTube kiddos who are just pontificating and creating videos for algorithms and whatever. So how can people follow you?
Yeah, they can follow me on Instagram. It is my name, Thach, THACH, NGUYEN So you guys can follow me on Instagram with that. You can follow me on TikTok. I make really funny entertainment TikTok videos. Check that out. And of course on Facebook. But if you follow me on Instagram, I drop something every single day on Instagram to try to get you guys to dream bigger, to think bigger, think outside the box, be inspired, get up. When things are down, things are tough, get up, do it. And I share the difference between me and everybody else out there. I inspire people by doing the work and sharing what I'm doing. That's the difference. I don't tell people, go do this, go do that, and I'm not doing it. I inspire you from sharing my journey.
Yeah.
Okay? And good and bad. You're going to see a lot of video, even video you're going to see on there on my Instagram where I have lost money. I have no problem transparently share that either. Yeah.
No, I researched you before bringing you on. One of the videos that talks about that, I think it was an apartment building you lost $2.6 million on, if I remember correctly.
251 unit apartment building.
Yeah, it happens, right?
It happened.
Yeah. So again, folks, I'm going to put the Thach's Instagram right in the first line in the description of this video. So if you didn't catch that, look at the description. It will be there. Thach, man, I appreciate your time. Any closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I want to say this. One matter of fact, here, let me read this for you. This is one of my best quotes. Okay.
Yep, you got it.
I'm gonna read this for everybody. This is one of my best quotes. I'm gonna share this with you, and it is a reminder of what's important and a priority in life today. And I think everyone can learn from this, no matter where you are in life. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the Dalai Lama was asked, when asked what impressed him most about humanity, he answered, man. Because he sacrificed his health, his family, his well-being in order to make money. Then he sacrificed his money to try to recuperate his health, his family, and his well-being. Sometimes it's too late. And then he is so anxious about the future that he does not enjoy the present. The result being that he does not live in the present or in the future. He lives as if he is never going to die. And then die having never really lived.
Wow.
So it's about balance.
It is. It is.
Life is about balance. All equity is as important. Yeah. When I was younger, it's all about making money, and I sacrificed all the other stuff. Right?
Been there.
So today I tell people, right, go make a lot of money. Don't forget about your kids and your husband and your wife. Go make a lot of money. Don't forget about your health. You got no health, you got no wealth.
Amen.
Right? If you're gonna dream big in all 8 equity, expand those. Live a life of Kanai, constant and improvement, and then share your story. Every one of us are what I call a antenna or a transmitter. And everything we do out there, we are being an example for other people to dream big. Mm-hmm. So don't be afraid to share. It's not bragging, because telling is one thing and sharing is another thing. Share your story, share your journey. And by doing that, you're going to inspire other people to actually live the same way. That's my ending thought, baby.
There you go. There's nothing else to be said. Thach, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it as always. Been outstanding here from you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.